Now, let me request the entrepreneur in this panel who may be able to relate to what all we have been discussing and hear his journey, the journey of a social entrepreneur, the pains and pleasures, and maybe a few words of encouragement for the youngsters here, uh, so that we get more and more youth taking up social entrepreneurship as a career of choice. So over to you. Over to the toilet man of Bengal.
Thank you. I will take this opportunity to stand up and stand beside everybody because this is a very rich panel here and equally rich on the other side. So I don't know if I have to speak something, I have to speak from here so that I can keep you motivated. At the same time, I leave you with a thought as well. So I'll start with a thought, and if I'm allowed, I can use Bengali and English because I'm speaking from here. So everybody of us are aware that we live for roti, kapda and makan, right? But dynamics changed with decades, and now we live for butter roti, bada makan and branded kapda. We were just discussing over this lunch table that our drivers are far happier than us at times. We can actually see the reflection in their eyes. So as everybody said, they have almost covered everything that, that I needed to tell. But I will give you some practical experiences. The dynamic shift from a life to lifestyle has actually made our life out of fashion, to be very honest. And I can feel it once I go to the ground because I have started coming to the stage only 2 to 3 years back because I said, okay, let these days of Fung Suk Wangru be over and let people like us come our dais and tell you the practical stories, how we feel about it. However, the pain is very, very different. I will tell you two very short stories which is one of mine and one from the US. And this is a far long story that I got to know just possibly a few days back. And I'm happy that I'm just coming out of IIT Kharagpur after 5 days of workshop with some eminent professors. And both, 5 of us are there in the panel right now. And we have taken a project for 1 year where we are going to either confuse everybody whom we talk to or we'll leave with a confusion of, in the entire room so that we have a thought of which you can feed up on. So basically, my journey started as a normal job-oriented guy who was very focused and wanted to do a, very, very odd job. Like I did my medicals and then I joined administration. And after 15 years, when this Swachh Bharat mission started and it was at its peak in 2015, we came back to India for ground audits on behalf of World Bank. And we started seeing that a lot of toilets getting made. However, at the rural area, you still have the same situation that toilets are actually percolating their drained out water into groundwater and leading to further contamination. As we are all aware, irrespective of the barriers of state and the boundaries of country, currently the rural health situation is very bad. So something happening, you do not actually have the dynamics to control it anyways, in any state as it is. So our journey started with a thought that what we can do differently because government was already doing something and we just wanted to do something which makes it more effective. Our motto was not to sell a product. Now in this house, how many of you actually would believe that a NGO and a social entrepreneurship, how do you take, like given an opportunity, you want to open an NGO, how many of you would like to open it? And how about social entrepreneurship? All right. See, the scenario is that in India especially, NGOs are seen in a very different perspective, okay? And social entrepreneurship is rather, very glorified, like a white-collared one. But ultimately, we have understood over a period of 5-7 years that unless you have a profitability factor, there is no sustainability in both cases. And to do good, you need funds at the end of the day. Pep talks are okay. But we need funds and we need a dynamic people in the organization who can actually carry on the good things along. So we need to pay them as well. So my basic understanding of social entrepreneurship was that okay, I can work without salary, but not my staffs as well. And as sir said, rightly that 24th of every month, that tickle comes with a heart attack that yes, how am I going to meet my salary dues and vendor payments? So we all started with a formulated product where the entire solid waste becomes reusable water in 24 hours. And this was very difficult to make people understand in the Indian context that you can reuse this water for gardening and flushing. Although the test certificates were all available, but as it is, knowledge is ignorance at times. So automatically people don't not buy that. So we got a first break with Joydev Mela because that particular year in 2017, this was declared as a Supreme Court green bench, green Mela sort of, where they cannot dig in toilets in the riverbeds. And we managed to do some toilets around 10:15 without staffs. Me, my wife, and the office boy would go into these toilets at around 2:30 in the morning because that was the time people go to sleep. And by 4:30, they are once again back to toilets. So our window was 2:30 to 4:30. And we'll start cleaning the toilets as well because we have very good habits of putting bottles and other stuffs in the toilet if you get it for free. Now, that was the scenario, and that was the position from where we never had a touch or turn around about it. So we never had to look back, and we continued, and we became the first company who were making mobile toilets. Some people started laughing, saying that you will compete with Tatas doing chassis. Instead, they doing chassis, you will start doing chassis for yourselves. We did it. Then we became the first Indian company who were making auto wash electronic toilets. And our brightest example was Calcutta Airport, where they gave the order pre-COVID, and we actually launched the product and installed post-COVID with many other amenities which were not in the contract as it is. Because by that time, the positioning of sanitation and sanitization has been much higher than normal hygiene. And to sum up, I must say that, I have not a rich experience of entrepreneurship, but all I can say is, we are hearing a lot of things. Being in management school, you always deal with people, process, and product. Now, this planet factor has also come, and more so, the sustainability of all these things have come. So, whatever you are doing, if you are doing that with conviction, that is going to boom automatically. You have to have your heart in that, actually. That's it. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you. I think one important message that I picked up from from your story, that yes, it's important to have a passion. It's important to solve a big problem, and that's what we should do. But that cannot stand if it's not sustainable. So there has to be a sustainable model around this word social entrepreneurship. Otherwise, you can create impact, but will not be able to scale up the impact. I think that's what I picked up from your speech, and that's a very important lesson for all of us.